Now, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner, Sir Mark Rowley, is welcoming the promise of new powers to tackle the so-called zombie knives and the offenders, telling reporters the ghastly weapons doing awful damage on the streets of the capital. He's saying the government have been working to find the correct legal measures and said he would pleased with proposals today because it's what's needed to do a better job of protecting communities. Well, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, inspecting some of those weapons on a visit to Kilburn Police Station in northwest London a little earlier. He's been speaking to our political editor, Christopher Hope.
Do you understand the frustration of residents hit by this increase in the ULEZ zone into outer London?
I do understand the frustration, and I think the Mayor and Keir Starmer and the Labour Party should explain to people why they think the right priority at a time where people are already struggling with the cost of living is to impose a charge of £12.50 on them every time they drive into London, whether it's to see their GP, go shopping, take their kids to school. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
Can you help central government give any more support for home counties around London, or even those hit by this new charge?
This is solely the responsibility of the Labour Party and the Labour Mayor Sadiq Khan and Keir Starmer. It's for them to explain why they think this is the right thing to do, and they should do that. I don't think it's the right priority. People have made their views very clear, and now it's up to them to explain themselves and why they think this is the right thing to do.
We've got a campaign at GBNews that there should be a legal right to access cash in shops. Do you support it?
Yeah, actually, while I was Chancellor, I put in place laws which have now passed, which ensure that people do have access to cash, because I understand how important it is. Of course, we're transitioning and using more electronic money and doing more things online, but cash is important to people, particularly in rural communities like the one I represent. The new laws that we've now passed will ensure that people are not more than 3 miles away from having access to cash. The regulator, the FCA, will have new powers to fine or compel banks to provide those services to people, because we know how important they are. That's why we've passed a new law to make sure that it happens.
And in shops, though, have a right to pay for things in shops, not just banks, but in shops.
Well, I think it's right that people should have access to cash. Right. It's a different thing for the government to start imposing on individual businesses how they should do their business. I don't think that's appropriate. But what we can do is regulate the financial services industry so people do have access to cash themselves.
We're in a police station here in North London. Do you think officers should take the knee?
I think what officers and police everywhere should be focused on is on tackling crime. That's what the public expects of them, and that's what I expect of them. And I've been talking to police officers here today. That's what they're keen to deliver. And that's why one of the things we've done recently is agree with the police that they will follow up all reasonable lines of inquiry when thefts happen. Again, that's what people would expect. And especially now where there's more technology, whether it's GPS or doorbell video, all of these things that can be given to the police, people will expect them to follow up on those things and actually just catch criminals, as well as tackling things like antisocial behaviour, which is why earlier this year we worked with the police and local authorities to announce a compelling antisocial behaviour plan. This is the type of crime that impacts too many communities up and down the country, and these are the bread and butter issues that the police should be focused on.
So not gestures like taking the knee?
Now, I think police officers, like the ones I've spoken to today, are focusing on catching criminals, whether that's tackling people who are committing thefts and burglaries, whether that's people who are doing antisocial behaviour, or indeed whether it's serious violence like knife crime. And that's why we've passed new laws today. We've announced new laws today that will give the police more powers to tackle knife crime, which we are reducing, but we of course need to do more because it's an awful crime.
The deadline to move Afghans who came here in the airlift 2 years ago out of bridging accommodation hotels is tomorrow. Will you hit that deadline?
Yeah, we've made very good progress on doing that, and it speaks to a broader challenge we have, that at the moment we've got the country spending millions of pounds a day to house illegal migrants in hotels. Now, that's not right. It's simply unfair and not sustainable.
So will it all move up by tomorrow, the deadline?
We're making very good progress towards that deadline. But more broadly, I think this is not about tomorrow, yes, or the day after. We've got to end the situation where we spend millions of pounds a day housing illegal migrants in hotels. I don't think that's right, which is why we're looking at alternative sites like barges, but it's why fundamentally we've got to stop people coming here in the first place. That's what our Stop the Boats law will enable us to do, and I'm glad that we've already made progress, and it's really important for people to know this, because they are frustrated, I am frustrated about this situation. I hope people understand that this year, for the first time since the small boats crisis emerged, numbers are down. I just want to say that again.
Yep.
Numbers are down for the first time since the small boats.
It's 20,000 this year. When will they go back onto the bivvy barge in the south coast?
We're working through to make sure that it's safe for people to go back on. As soon as all those checks and tests have been completed, we want to put people back on the barge, because I don't want our taxpayers to be spending millions of pounds housing people in hotels in their communities. Where we can find alternative sites, that's the right thing to do, like the barge. But more fundamentally, while we've got to reduce the number of people coming here, and again, I would say this, for the first time, the numbers this year are meaningfully down on the year before. So look, I know people are frustrated, but I want them to know that progress is being made. We've returned 3,000 illegal migrants to Albania. That has, since I signed the new deal with them. These are new things that we are doing that are making a difference, and I will keep at it.
Will there be anything to help families through the cost of living crisis this autumn? Anything planned, or any be looking at with soaring inflation and difficulty with interest rates?
I know things are challenging for families, and that's why the government has taken significant action, particularly to help with energy bills, where we provided support worth around £1,500 to a typical family to help pay with about half their energy bill. We funded that through the windfall tax that we levied on energy companies. I think that's the right thing to do, particularly for pensioners, for example. This winter they will receive an extra £300 up to, alongside their winter fuel payment, because we want to make sure pensioners get extra support. Those on universal credit are receiving around £900 in direct cost of living support. The national living wage has gone up. So all those things will help the most vulnerable in society. The most important thing I can do for the country and for every family is to bring down inflation. It's inflation that is putting up the prices of things in shops, it's eating into people's savings, making them feel poorer. I need to bring down inflation to help people fundamentally with the cost of living, and our plan is working. The last couple of months of data show that inflation is coming down. If we stick to the plan, we will be able to deliver that for families up and down the country.
Just finally, you cheated on the lionesses from home. What do you make of the Spanish FA president, Rubiales, kissing Jenna Hermoso on the lips?
Well, my understanding is that the Spanish authorities have initiated a formal preliminary investigation, and they will take the appropriate action as that investigation concludes.
Prime Minister, thank you.
Thank you very much.